Hello and welcome back to another What I Watched this month, February edition. I know it's almost now I'm recording this, it's the middle of March, but I made a different video. I wanted to try a different format this month, but it just didn't work because I just used a voiceover and used footage from the movies that I was talking about. But then the way I speak is very slow, and the tone in which I speak just didn't work with that type of video. So I'm now redoing the video just like I did last month, but the only thing that might be different, I might be using footage or maybe not if I'm too lazy, but we'll see. But yeah, this month I watched a good amount again of films, although not as many as last time. But yeah, I'm gonna try to talk less in this video because that video is so long and I didn't even cover half the films that I watched. So I'm hoping today to be able to talk about all the movies that I watched. So it's gonna be like 1 minute for each film. So hopefully the video is gonna be like no more than 30 minutes, hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, let's just get started. I started this month with Happiness, which actually means that it's been over a month now since I watched it, yet I still have no idea how to feel about it. Very few films have this effect on me where I have no idea how to feel. There were definitely parts of this that I enjoyed or I guess was intrigued by, but a lot of it just made me very uncomfortable, which I know is the point of the film. And I usually like these type of films. I love shocking, awkward, uncomfortable, or even disgusting films, as you can see by the Gaspar Noé climax poster in my room. But still, this was a lot, even for me. I don't know. I guess I just need more time to grasp it all, and that is fine sometimes. I'm just gonna give myself more time to decide if I like this movie or not. But yeah, for now, I just logged this without a rating or nothing, as I truly am still in shock. I then watched Burlesque, which wasn't good, but also was a fun time. It's one of those guilty pleasures that you can like point out 100 things that are wrong with the film, but you still enjoy it. You can't help it. It's fun. Christina Aguilera has an amazing voice, and yeah, like the story was quite predictable, and the acting was really bad in my opinion. And even the cinematography, I never noticed if the cinematography is bad, but for me, this one was it looked very weird, like a music video or commercial, but in a bad way, like in a very superficial way, one that doesn't let you connect to the characters or the plot. But yeah, I still had a lot of fun watching this. I gave it 2.5 stars, but secretly I enjoyed it way more than that. I then watched The Flower of My Secret by Almodovar. There's always a bittersweet feeling whenever I watch a new Almodovar film, as I know it's one less film of his that I get to watch for the first time. He has a very vast filmography, but I have to kind of like stop myself each time from watching too many of his films because I want to always have the option to watch a new Almodovar film. He just has an ability to create words that are both dreamlike but very familiar. Even in tragic moments in his films, there's always a kind of warmth that is felt both in the space and through the female and queer relationships that I think he's one of the few directors and just artists in general to be able to get the complexity of and be able to show it as well. Yeah, The Flower of My Secret is, I think, a film that sits between Almodovar's earlier, more wild and explosive films and his later, more deeply emotional dramas. It follows a woman grappling with a failing marriage, faltering career, and just a personal crisis. Yet, in her pain, there is again solace, both in the space that she's given to feel her pain and in the later self discovery that comes, eventually. This was just very beautiful. I love this a lot. I gave it 4 stars. I then watched Babygirl, which was very underwhelming in my opinion. I couldn't connect with it at all. The whole time I was kind of waiting for something to happen and then nothing happened. Yeah, I didn't find it fun or sexy or dangerous. I thought this was just a very safe and shallow representation of BDSM, an offensive one even, I would say. I gave it 2.5 stars just for Nicole Kidman because I love Nicole Kidman. I thought the acting was good from everyone basically. But yeah, I really don't understand what they were trying to do with this film. I also watched The Idiots, which, like Happiness, left me speechless for a while. Although I would say I found this much more entertaining than Happiness, and I thought a lot of it was very funny. But there were parts where I was a bit bored, and I just thought it was getting a bit repetitive, or it was like it was trying too hard to be offensive or shocking. But it did manage to pull me in again towards the end. I loved the ending. But yeah, again, I didn't give this any rating or nothing. Again, I'm letting it sink in. Um, uh, yeah, sorry. This month is just, I watch a lot of shocking things, and yeah, maybe I'll rewatch it, maybe not. But yeah, I just thought it was there are parts that I like, there are parts what I didn't like. A lot of it offended me. I know that's the point, but I just don't know how to feel, okay? I also rewatched A Nest in the Heat, which is one of my favorite films of all time. I think it's the best Moroccan film ever made. I know it's a documentary, but it's just one of the most real, self aware, and vulnerable portrayals of Eastern family dynamics, or really any family dynamics. It's such a universal story. I actually rewatched this because I was writing an essay about it, which I might share here soon as a video essay. But yeah, please go watch it. It's a 40-minute documentary that's available on YouTube with subtitles. Such a beautiful film. 5 stars in my opinion. I then watched Conclave, which was such a good time. This was very entertaining. I was intimidated by this before watching it because I know nothing about Christianity or Catholicism, but it was quite easy to follow. And I also loved the cinematography and the production design, they were very sharp. The only thing I didn't like, and this might be a spoiler, so just skip through if you don't want to learn anything about the film, but the whole piece speech at the end that changed everything, I think that was not realistic in my opinion. Like, it's a thing that's overdone in films where one guy comes and says, oh, we need to be good, we need to do this good thing, and then everyone's like, oh, you're right, we're just gonna stop being evil and just, you know. So I didn't like that, but other than that, I love the film. I'm so happy it got the Oscar for the best adapted screenplay. I think it was well deserved. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. Yeah, good, fun movie. I also watched Queer, which was one of the most beautiful films I've ever seen, if not the most beautiful film I've ever seen. I wrote this on my Letterboxd review, which I don't really write reviews on Letterboxd. I just sometimes write my instant reactions or I try to be funny, just making that clear in case someone goes into my Letterboxd expecting reviews. But yeah, I wrote that it felt like while watching the film, it felt like I could touch everything on screen, which is, yeah, I don't know how that's even possible. Yeah, it's just like Call Me by Your Name. This is one of the most beautiful portrayals of love and lust and sex. And I thought Daniel Craig was amazing. The way he's so vulnerable is, yeah, I love this a lot. Yeah, 4.5 stars easily. Maybe if I rewatch this might even be a 5 star movie. It's so good. I then watched Fallen Leaves, which was such a cute movie. This is why I love watching foreign films, especially when they're not trying to be American or trying to be something they're not. This felt very Finnish. In the with the dry humor, the introverted nature of the characters, the portrayal of the working class, the cold and blue cinematography, the deciding to get married right away. Although I'm not sure if that's a Finnish thing. Let me know if it is. But yeah, just a very original love story that feels, yeah, very universal. Just, yeah, I love this. I gave it 4 stars. Such a cute little love story. I also watched Saving Private Ryan, which I remember enjoying, which is unusual for me with war films because I rarely like war films. But yeah, it was good. It's your typical American war film. It's good, but nothing crazy. Just, 3.5 stars. Yeah, I think it's a fun, good movie, but not the best thing I've ever seen. I also watched Ingrid Goes West, which was a good movie. It was both funny and sad and just a good, I think it's one of the few good representations of the impact of social media, in my opinion, as well as a compelling representation of BPD. It follows a woman called Ingrid, played by Audrey Plaza, who becomes obsessed with this LA Instagram influencer who has like the perfect life, and then she goes to LA and inserts herself into the life of this influencer. I really enjoyed this film. I think it's, as I said, good film. There's nothing that's wrong with it. It just didn't touch me that deeply. I don't think I'm gonna remember it for that long. So I give it 3.5 stars. It's good, just nothing crazy. As I wrote on my Letterboxd review, which again wasn't a review, just a sentence saying, I don't know what's going on, but I like it, which I think I still stand by. I was very confused at first as I tried following the story, but there was no story for this film, or rather, there were too many of them, and I wasn't sure what any of the stories were leading up to, or if they were leading to anything, or if I'm even gonna see any of the characters again. But at some point, I just gave up and decided to just enjoy what was in front of me, and that's when the movie really worked for me. I think that's the best way to watch it if you haven't seen it and you want to see it. This is such an original film. It's very American yet different than any American film that I've ever seen, or really any film that I've ever seen. This was good in my opinion. I would just love to rewatch it, like from the beginning, just enjoying everything rather than being confused and trying to make sense of it. Um, yeah, I also love the music. Like I haven't stopped listening to the album, to the soundtrack of this film ever since it's finished. I give it 4 stars. Interesting, but a bit underwhelming in my opinion. The premise is intriguing. It's about a woman played by Nicole Kidman, who is still grieving the passing of her husband after 10 years. And just as she's about to move on and remarry, a young boy appears claiming to be the reincarnation of her late husband. And yeah, that shakes everything up for her. This is a slow burn psychological drama with an eerie, dreamlike atmosphere. Yet something about it left me feeling a bit unsatisfied. While again, I think Nicole Kidman is amazing and she delivers a really amazing performance here. The film's slow pacing and restrained approach kept me at a distance, I would say, rather than pulling me in. So this is for me a 3 stars film. What an absolutely devastating exploration of suffering this is. This was very hard to watch, not because it's not well made, on the contrary, it makes you feel everything you're supposed to feel. I think everything works. The choice of POV, the jump in between past and present and memories, everything works. I give it 4 stars, and I really can't wait to see more of this director. I'm so angry that this didn't do well. I don't understand. How can people hate this? I kept hearing bad things, so I never watched it until last month, and I was so shocked to see that it's a masterpiece. It's one of the most beautiful um, love letters to film and Hollywood, and I think it does a great job at showing both the beauty and the ugliness of the film industry and of fame and ambition. I I'm so shocked. Like I saw this other video that explained how the promotion was done badly. That's why the film flopped. But yeah, I really hope more people watch this. This was such a good time, so messy and bold and chaotic. And please, if you haven't seen this because it's 3 hours long and you kept hearing bad things, please just give it a chance. I just feel so bad because like I feel like this is just as good as La La Land. I gave it 4.5 stars. So good. Please go watch it if you haven't. I then watched A Swedish Love Story, which was a movie that was very excited to watch. I really wanted to like this. This is my first Roy Anderson film, and I'm not sure if this was a good way to start because I just didn't connect with this. I really tried to, and while I really appreciate the portrayal of the innocence of young love and the beauty of the two characters creating their own world and blocking the ugliness of adulthood around them, I don't know, something about it just left me feeling a bit cold, whether it was the pacing or the ending or just my personal expectations. I don't know. This just didn't resonate with me the way I had hoped. I gave it 2.5 stars, unfortunately, but I'm still gonna like check out more of Roy Anderson, and yeah, I'll update you if I do. This is the funniest film I've seen in a really long time. I think the premise itself is hilarious and very original. I think Sebastian Stan is amazing. I think he's very underrated, even with like how famous he is. I think his acting and how good he is not talked about enough. I think Adam Pearson is amazing also. Beyond the comedy, I think this is a very interesting study of self-image and self-hatred and how much our mind and view of ourselves really matters. This makes me want to wake up every day and tell myself I'm pretty in front of a mirror. But yeah, this was such a good time. 4 stars. Although this was good, I think for an Eric Romer film, it was on the weaker side, which I feel so bad for even saying. I love Eric Romer so deeply. This just didn't touch me the way other films of his have. I wasn't as interested in the conversations nor the characters, except Maud, I would say. But yeah, I didn't feel the huge love I usually feel for his characters. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't in the mood that day. I don't know, it's still good, just not what I'm usually used to from Eric Romer. So I gave it 3.5 stars, unfortunately. I also watched The Brutalist, which I loved. The way I see it, it's not just a critique of the American dream, but of the capitalistic glorification of success in general, especially one that comes at a huge personal cost. Because what's the point of making it? What's the point of achieving your dream, of having people clap for you if you had to endure abuse, if you had to ruin personal relationships and just starve all the way, um, just to end up old and alone while people call you great? Well, the film doesn't give easy answers. It just lets you see and decide for yourself. Is it about the journey or the destination? Yeah, I really loved Adrian Brody. I don't care what anyone says. I think he deserved the Oscar. Also, Guy Pearce. Oh my God. Yeah, I really love this. I might do a video essay on it. To there's a lot to talk about, I think, with this film. I gave it 4.5 stars. I then went on to watch A Complete Unknown, which was just okay in my opinion. It's a biopic about Bob Dylan and it does a good job showing who Bob Dylan was and his music and stuff. I think Timothée Chalamet is good in this, but I don't think this is his best role because he's been saying it's his best role and he's put the most efforts into it. And I believe that. In my opinion, Timothée Chalamet still hasn't done anything that has topped Call Me By Your Name, which is understandable because Call Me By Your Name was just so good and he was so good in it. But I think it will come eventually. But yeah, this is, I think, a 3 stars film for me. I can tell I'm not gonna remember it in a couple of months. This is a film that has been on my watch list for the longest time, and now with the whole Emilia Perez controversy, I decided to watch it because it's directed by Jacques Audiard, who is the same director of Emilia Perez. And I don't know, I kind of have a feeling that if I had watched this before Emilia Perez, I would have liked it more. Because I couldn't take any of the choices made seriously because I was like, oh, this is directed by these choices were made by the same guy who did Emilia Perez, which I know is very unfair and very childish, but I can't help it, okay? The main problem I had with this film was the man. Look, he's sexy, okay, I get it. I was shipping them, but he's an asshole both to Marion Cotillard's character and to his own son. He's just really dumb. And I wish he had a moment of growth where we see that he really changes, but he doesn't. Anyways, it just shows for me that Jacques Audiard has a big problem with morality and creating redeemable characters. So unfortunately, for me, this was 2.5 stars. I ended this month with Naked by Mike Lee, and what a way to end this month. I started February with Happiness, which I couldn't rate, and ended it with Naked, which I also can't rate. I had a very weird experience watching this film. I feel like whenever I watch a nightmarish, fever dream-like dark film like this, I fall asleep and then I continue the film in my own dreams. I don't know if it's my brain making me fall asleep because of how uncomfortable I feel, or it's because the film is so dreamlike that my brain thinks I'm dreaming, so it falls asleep. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, but yeah, this was a very challenging film. I hate Mike Lee because how dare he make me feel so intrigued and root for this monster. This is probably one of the realest, most raw performances I've ever seen. Like, there's no way this guy is acting. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Did I enjoy this? Yes and no. Like, all the parts that I didn't enjoy, I know I wasn't supposed to enjoy them. But yeah, this is such a philosophical film. I hate saying that, but it is. It's about nothing and nothingness, and I just can't wait to revisit this and see what I'm gonna feel upon a rewatch because for now my head is blank. Like, I literally don't know what to think, which I used to really hate when that used to happen. Like, I would feel really stupid, but I think with these kind of films, you're not supposed to have an instant reaction and know what to say. They are supposed to make you feel speechless. So I'm just letting myself, just have an honest reaction to them. I'm actually thinking of doing a video actually about these type of films and the whole debates about if art should be uncomfortable or violent or disgusting. And so I might be rewatching these films for that video, and I might be watching even more uncomfortable films. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. Yeah, I'm so proud of finishing the video, unlike last month when I couldn't talk about all the movies. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next month with even more films, hopefully.